Congratulations, Roger. If you can give us your thoughts on today's match with David Ferrer and reaching the finals again.
I thought it was a tough match. Could clearly see why David beat Murray and Djokovic here. He takes the ball really early, is able to generate great angles off his plays, and super consistent. I think he's serving better as well than he has in the past, even though I don't think he had his best serving day against me today. Excuse me, which helped me, get into more of the baseline rallies, and obviously it was a key 5-4 game for me to hold and then break the next game, and then actually break again early on in the second set. So that was a crucial sort of 15-20 minutes for me, and I'm happy I was able to decide the match right there. And after that I was able to serve well, mix it up, and be dangerous for him, and it was a bit more straightforward. But I really had to dig deep to find a way to beat David today.
Roger, I'd like to know if you are more surprised by the records that you keep making and the stories that you are making in tennis, or about the emotions that you keep having every time you win and someone reminds you what you have just done. Are you more surprised about how emotionally you are about these wins or not?
No, the emotional side I'm not surprised, because I've always been an emotional tennis player. I used to be so emotional when I used to lose, and then eventually, I think it was the first time in Davis Cup against the Americans, after winning singles, doubles, singles, I was so exhausted, and so the pressure left me, and I think I had tears in my eyes after winning. It was the first time I had winning tears, and ever since I've had many of them, and I've been an emotional player when it was all said and done, really. But I try to keep my emotions in check while the tournament is going on, because I feel like I need to save it in case there is something more, and it can be an emotional roller coaster throughout the whole career, season, or match. So I'm more surprised in all the things I have achieved. I'm shocked every time that I've reached so many finals or won against so many players, or whatever record it is. It strikes me, and makes me obviously very happy and very proud that I've been able to do it for so many years at the highest of levels.
Roger, is your victory number 12 in 12 matches against David? Why it gets so easy for you playing against Ferrer?
And it's not that easy, as it might look and seem. It's a lot of hard work. I think today was, again, very close. Maybe had some easier matches against him, but lately they've all been very tough and very physical, and he's improved a lot. He's really cemented himself into the top 10, and now even in the top 5, so I expect him to have another very solid and a good season if things fall in place for him. And you can see why. He's just one of the best returners we have in the game. He's got great mental toughness, and he's extremely fit, and then he brings a lot of shots to the table, so he's a very tough player to play against.
Roger, could you just sum up your thoughts going into tomorrow's final, and really how much it would mean to you to lift that sixth title, and also talk a bit about both players for us?
Well, it's obviously a special occasion for me tomorrow, playing my 100th final, possibly winning my 70th, winning my 6th at the World Tour Finals, and that would be a record. So so there's a lot, in a way there's a lot on the line, in a way there's not, because all I can do is trying to play a good match against a dangerous player, and in Tsonga we have someone who's very confident right now, who's played well on the indoors, and if he makes it to the finals, even right now in the semis, he's going to be extremely dangerous, and he's going to believe in his chance. And the same thing for Berdych. They're both great shot makers. I played Berdych as well in Paris, and I thought he played an amazing match against Murray the match before me. Maybe got a bit unlucky to having to back it up right against me the next day after that epic match. So I was able to take advantage of that, but it's not totally in my control with the power these guys have. So I have to outmaneuver them and outplay them a bit. But it's good that I've actually beaten both players the last couple of weeks. I think that's an advantage for me. But then again, it's another match, another final. But it would be quite funny to play Tsonga in the finals of Paris on the first day on Sunday and then on the next Sunday again. So we'll see how it goes, but I think it's going to be a very close match, and I'll follow it as close as I can.
Roger, we were having a discussion on the radio the other night about why, even though you haven't won a major for 2 years, about whether you're a better player now than you were maybe a couple of years ago, just because of the level of Djokovic and Nadal's just taken the sport on. You're the only person who can really answer that question, so what do you think?
I just think it's normal to improve as a player. Why should you move backwards, you know? Confidence is one thing, but that can be temporarily, and that can fade as quick as it came, really. So, but then you have a certain base that you can always work with, and I think as time goes by and as much as you practice, and actually the matches make you a better player. I mean, I used to have a weak backhand, but then everybody played into my backhand, you know. So then obviously I was always going to improve my backhand eventually, and I think the same thing kind of happened to many different players. I don't think Novak's forehand used to be a strength. Today it's a weapon. Rafa, same thing. He used to struggle if you hit hard into his forehand. Today it's no problem for him anymore. So it's really interesting how you evolve as a tennis player, and so for me it's only but logical to improve. But then you have to have the work ethic and the professional side of things. To sleep, drink, live healthy as a tennis player, because no one else is running but ourselves. We have no substitute, so that makes it extremely difficult mentally. But I think the top guys have done actually really well trying to maintain that high level of play. And like I said, I have also been amazed myself how long I've been able to keep it up. So, but I'm happy my level is still very high and my body's holding up.
Roger, you equaled a childhood hero of yours today, Stefan Edberg, with 806 wins. Can you tell us something about what it means to equal him in particular, and what it means in terms of the longevity which you've had to achieve to get to this stage?
So I equaled him today, or yeah. I mean, look, Stefan was my idol. I had a chance last year to sort of finally play with him, which was a dream come true in some ways. And so to achieve something that he achieved is obviously very nice. I don't think it matters much, but it's still very nice, to get reminded that you equaled your idols or heroes' achievements. Yeah, it's just a lot of dedication, like I mentioned, and you have to stay injury-free. Otherwise, all these things don't happen. So I'm very fortunate.
Roger, kannst du vielleicht in ein paar Worten beschreiben? Can you just describe in a few words what is it like does this tournament mean to you, and what is it like the few seconds before you enter the stage? Is it like goosebumps on your body, or is it like it's pretty the same every year?
No, it's different, but then again, you don't feel the same every single match. Sometimes you are extremely nervous because you feel like your game's not quite working, and then other times you feel fantastic. But that's also not a good feeling, because then you're a bit too confident. You're maybe not as nervous as you're supposed to be, and you think it's all going to happen automatically, and then you'll be surprised if things don't go well. But I think the show's nice here. Ovations we get are amazing. I can't tell, but it seems like it's standing ovations, so that's really nice as well, and it just makes a great setting here at the O2. I really enjoy it. The fans are super polite, and they know why they've come here, and we try to perform every single day, try to make something special happen, and that I've been able to play so many matches on center court now over the years has been really nice for me, and I sort of expect, or I hope for something similar again tomorrow.
Roger, could you ever put yourself in the shoes of a player walking on court against another player with a 0-11 record? What kind of thought processes do you think you'd walk on court with?
Well, you believe in that you've done well this week, and you believe that you can beat that player who just walked on in front of you or after you. I think the 0-11 record maybe comes into play more when he's down a set and a break than actually in the first game of the match. So it's up to me to really remind him of that record. But other than that, it's not very helpful. I don't think. It gives me a sense of security to some degree, but not him. I don't think it scares him in any way. We respect each other at the top anyway a lot. and for that reason, I think he goes in there with lots of belief. I mean, anything else would surprise me.
Roger, it took you, I think, 5 deuces to close out that 10th game in the first set. How do you keep your frustration under control, or don't you feel frustration in moments like that?
Well, not a little frustrated. I thought, you know, in that, let's say in the 5-4 game, I should have closed it out probably 2 or 3 times at least before having to go over multiple second serves at deuce, you know, which against Ferrer, who's in my opinion one of the best return players we have right now, especially on second serves in the game, is very tricky. And but I'm happy I didn't double fault. I'm happy I didn't give him any easy points. I'm happy I stayed tough. And so then you just think shot for shot, and you actually try to block out all the negativity, and you try to pick the right decisions once you're in the lead again. And also when you're down, you're trying to do that. So it all happens very quickly out there. You know, it might look like we have a lot of time in between points, but you feel the stress level because of the pressure the opponent's putting on, because of the crowds being there, because of the moment, the importance. You know, you're aware of it all, but it's a lot happening in your mind at that very moment, and I'm happy I was able to handle it well today. So hopefully one more match tomorrow, and then I can rest. So looking forward to that. First match though.